Thank you so much for joining me for this holiday-themed Untangle Your Tinsel Pilates Mat stretch class. I have my Pilates ring, and I also have a wedge. Completely optional, but it is a nice option for class today if you do have one. So we're going to go ahead, place your ring to the side. We're not going to use it right away just yet. We're going to come lying down. If you have a wedge, place the tip top of your head up near the tip top of the wedge. Find a nice neutral spine. Flatten your sacrum. Have a slight lift between your top of your hips, your 12th rib. Pull your ribs together as if you're wearing a corset, nice and wide across the collarbones. Shoulder blades nice and flat against the mat or the wedge. I'm going to extend, my right leg. When I lift my left leg up into a bent knee tabletop position, I'm not going to cinch at my waist or shrink at my waist or hike my hip. I'm going to lift it up, leaving both my hips even. Hold on behind my knee, and then I'm going to gently pull my knee in. I don't want to tuck my tail to do that. I just want to crease at the hip, leaving a nice flat sacrum. Getting a nice stretch across my glute. I'm going to stay here for a moment, breathing. We're going to do the ballet stretches with a bent knee. After that, I'm going to take my right hand, place it underneath my knee on my shin, platform my left arm down by my side, and pull my bent right knee across the midline of my body. My left hip will float up off the mat, and my 12th rib is magnetized down to the mat. Again, I'm not tucking to lift my knee higher. I'm keeping a nice neutral spine even though it's in a twist. A nice twisted spine but no tucking, let's say. I'm going to take my left hand, place it in the same spot below my knee on my shin, bring my knee out to the side without letting myself rock towards the hip. So I'm keeping my right hip anchored down strongly, and then I'm going to pull my knee in without cinching my waist, right? Or hiking my hip again. I can use my bicep to platform my arm down to support my leg so that I'm making sure that I'm increasing my stretch, but I'm not floating up off that opposite hip. I'm going to replace that leg down, shake out my legs real fast, bring my right leg up to tabletop. We're going to do the same thing. Hold on behind your knee or above the top of your shin, underneath the knee. Whatever you do, make sure that you're not shrinking in the right side of your waist or hiking your hip. Extend that left leg long, feeling the nice front of the hip flexor stretch down that leg. Good. From there, we're going to take our left hand, place it below the knee on the shin, and float that hip up as you pull the leg across the midline, leaving those back ribs, the back 12th rib, anchored to the mat. The holidays are so stressful. It's nice to take a few moments to ourselves to really work out some of the kinks. We're going to come back to the center, take underneath our knee on the shin and our right hand, bring the leg to the side. Go ahead and use your elbow as a kickstand if you like. Pull your knee up and in towards your ear. Don't allow your hip to hike again. Keep your hip square. Excellent. Go ahead and extend that leg out. Give them a shake. Find your ring. You're going to hold on with the pad facing, one pad facing you, one pad up to the ceiling. You're going to place both your toes into the pad towards the ceiling. Now, flex your feet. Extend your legs straight up. You don't want to pull them towards you. You want to make sure that you're keeping that nice flat sacrum, the nice neutral spine. And now you're going to extend your legs to a pointed foot and flex them down. Don't use your arms for this. Your arms are adding a little bit of additional weight to the ring to assist with the stretch down the back of your leg. But you should be pulling for dear life, just really hanging on there. We want to allow the stretch to happen naturally. It will happen in your own body. Good. On this next one, we're going to keep our feet in the demi-point forced arch position. We're going to do something that's called trotting, but with our feet in the ring. Normally I do this in footwork. On the reformer, I'm going to bend my left knee and my right foot is going to flex. I'm going to bring both feet back up to the pointed position, and then I'm going to bend my left knee, or my right knee, and flex my right foot. Come back to the pointed position, bend your left knee, and lift. I'm not yanking my foot down. Again, my hands are just there, adding some additional weight to the ring to increase the stretch. Left knee bends, and straighten. Right knee bends. Again, I'm keeping my sacrum completely flat. Some nice ankle work. Nice breath work. Work at those ankles. Could be wearing a lot of heels this Christmas. Go ahead and work on those ankle muscles. One more. Good. Now, leave your feet up. Take the ring. Place it right below your knees on the shin area again. We're going to bring our feet to tabletop. Fingertips coming up to the ceiling. Come on, where your sternum 12 for a beat. Don't bring your hands up here. You'll get into your neck. We're going to inhale to curl up, reaching for the end of our mat. We're going to inhale here and exhale to curl back down. Now, as we inhale, we're going to crease at our sternum, drawing our ribs to our hips, wrapping our wrists like a corset to float out. We have a nice little squeeze on the ring. Nothing too major, just to make sure it's not going anywhere. And we're wrapping our glutes and squeezing our inner thighs to get there. Now this next one we're going to add on. So we're going to curl up, extend our legs to working level, pull our legs back in, and float our head, neck, and shoulders back down. So inhale, and extend, keeping everything neutral. Pull, and down. One more, just like this. When we raise up, our chin is lifted gently off our chest. We have a nice curve in our cervical spine. We're not crunching our chin to our chest. Now, adding on, as we curl up, we're going to bring our arms down and extend our legs out to working level at the same time. So inhale and exhale. Inhale here and exhale back down. Bend it nice, neutral spine. One more, we're going to stay out there and do the hundreds. And extend. Now begin pumping. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pump your arms rapidly, getting the blood to flow through your veins. Give a light, gentle squeeze on the ring. Inner thighs by wrapping your glutes. Inhale, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrap your ribs. Feel your belly button sink as you exhale. One strong exhale. Inhale. Exhale like you're fogging a mirror. 2 more sets. Don't lose the squeeze on the ring. Final set. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Float down. Float your legs straight up to the ceiling. Platform your arms down by the side and flex your feet and lower for 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. Point your feet. Squeeze the ring. Float it back up and flex, release the squeeze and lower. 2, 3, point and squeeze and left. Flex and lower. 2, 3, point and squeeze and lift and flex. 2, 3, point and squeeze and lift. Now release the squeeze, leave the point and lower. 1, 2, 3. Flex and squeeze and left. Release and point and lower. 2, 3. Flex and squeeze. Woo! And point, lower. 1, 2, 3. Flex and squeeze. And lift and point, lower. 2, 3. Flex and squeeze and lift. Place the ring in your hands. Extend your legs long. Adjust on the wedge if you so need to. My ring, the center of my ring is directly over where my sternum and 12 rib meet. I'm going to place my thumbs in the ring. Press it up. I'm going to bend in my elbows and pulling the ring wide. My shoulder blades are nice and flat. We're going to do 3 roll-ups in this with this hand position. Change your hand position for the next 3 roll-ups, and we're going to do some single leg circles and scissors. So I'm going to inhale, nodding my chin to my chest, extending my legs long, squeeze together, keep my C-shaped curve.
Exhale as I fold over my legs, reaching my arms out long, squeezing underneath my arms to keep my shoulders away from my ears. Inhale to pull back in a C-shaped curve. And exhale to float back down. Bringing the ring back up over my sternum 12 for keeping that squeeze, add that outer squeeze on it. Inhale, begin to articulate. Exhale to fold over. Really pull back on that belly button to your spine. And exhale to lower. One more. From there, I'm going to take the meaty parts of my palm, right here. I'm going to squeeze in on the ring, but squeeze down underneath of the arms at the same time. So I squeeze down in on my ring. I'm going to feel my ribs wrap a little tighter and the squeeze under my arm. And then I'm going to inhale, get articulated. Exhale over my legs. Inhale to pull back. And exhale to articulate down. And inhale. Squeezing my legs together the whole time. Wrapping my ribs together the whole time. I don't lose the wrap when I come down. One more. And I don't know about anybody else, but I scooch a little bit in my roll up. So I'm going to readjust on my wedge again. From there, I'm going to take the pad of my ring, just like we did when we had our feet in the pad, but I'm going to switch the ways facing. So instead of the ring facing me like a window, I'm going to face it so the ring is facing my nose. Gently rest my arms up here. Squeeze under my arms gently, but I'm not squeezing it so tight that I'm trying to squish it down, right? I'm just going to give a gentle squeeze on that ring. Inhale, exhale. Flip my left leg up long. We're going to do leg circles. So I'm going to inhale my leg across the body and exhale it back up. As I do this, since I don't have my arms platformed down by my side, my circles are a little bit more oval shaped because I don't have the additional bony landmarks on my arms to support me. Don't swing your leg up. And come back up to the top. And now reverse. Inhale to the outside. Exhale across the body and up. And inhale. Extend your right leg long. Keep a flat sacrum. Don't tuck your pelvis to the top. One more. Now, leave your leg there. Flip your right leg up to meet it. Bring the ring into your hands. Gently hold it with the meaty part. We're going to do scissors. So we're going to bring our left leg to the ring first and pulse, pulse, and switch and pulse, pulse. Don't bring your ring to your leg. Bring your leg to the ring without tucking. One more. Now, leave your right leg up at the top. Float your left leg down. Bring your ring back down so the pad is on your sternum, at your sternum at 12th rib. Gently rest your arms and squeeze under your arms. We have leg circles on the other side. Extend your left leg long. Inhale the right leg across the body. Exhale it back up. And inhale across. Again, while I'm here, oops, sorry, I'm losing my Santa hat. While I'm here, my circles are more like ovals because I have less bony landmarks. And inhale, and exhale. One more. And now reverse. Inhale to the outside, and exhale across. And inhale. Three. Here's 4. And 5. And 6. Leave your right leg to the ceiling. Float your left leg up to meet it. Take both rings in your hand for the meaty part first. We're going to bring our flex our feet, and our right foot's going to come in first, or pulse, pulse, and switch. Pulse, pulse. Find a nice neutral spine. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. Don't swing your leg up. Good. Bring your feet into tabletop. Bring your ring so it's more, you're holding it, so your fingers are in line with the pad. We're going to inhale, exhale to curl up, bringing our ring over our shins. We're going to extend our left leg and pull it back. And inhale, extend right leg and pull back. Make sure you're squeezing your inner thighs the whole time. Curl up, make sure you're not creasing your chin creasing your chin into your chest. Squeeze under your arms. Draw your ribs to your hips to try to float your ring over your knees. Good. Let's do 2 more. We're gonna stay in the curl up. We're gonna do elbow to knee here. It's gonna be a little different. So I'm going to do it extending my left leg first. But extend my left leg, I'm going to rotate to bring my ring right in front of my left thigh. So I can still rotate, but I'm not rocking off my back hip. So if you try to take your ring too far away from your thigh, you're gonna rock off your back hip most likely. Bring your underarm to that knee. Curl up a little deeper. We're halfway there. There has to be a little work in the stretch class, right? Here's 6. And here's 7. Anchor that back hip so you're not rocking. Really rotate from the ribs across, leaving everything below the belly button stable. Good. Rest your head and your shoulders, float the ring up, rest your feet down, separate your feet to the outer edges of the mat. Windshield wiper your legs gently from side to side. Don't necessarily think of floating your hip off. If it gets light on one side, that's fine. We're just trying to loosen up those hip joints real fast. Rock onto your side, come up to sitting. We're gonna do a quick swan prep, and then we're going to go ahead and we are going to do some roll up and other exercises. Roll up 2 other exercises. So I'm going to come down onto my stomach real fast. I'm going to squeeze my inner thighs to protect my low back. Also to protect my low back, I'm going to draw my belly button up to my spine as if I'm trying to make room under my stomach for, I've heard everyone say a line of ants to get through. For some reason that doesn't really work for me, but it seems to work for a lot of people, right? Make sure that you wrap your ribs strongly for this. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your biceps into your ribs. Inhale, as if you're trying to come out of your turtle shell. Press up. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Good. Inhale at the top and exhale back down. Using your triceps to squeeze your biceps by your ribs. Inhale, up. Shoulders down your back. If your ribs are kickstanding or stopping you as you're articulating down, really wrap them even tighter. You need to have support on the front of your back to find the support that you're looking for your back so you don't crunch into your spine. Let's do one more. And articulate back down. Now, to set up for this next exercise, the first thing I'm going to do is place my wedge down. From there, I'm going to come down, find my position I'm looking for on my wedge. I'm going to articulate up slowly and with control so that I don't knock around too much. I'm going to take my ring, flatten it, reach down, toss it between the arches of my feet. I'm not hanging on for dear life or squeezing it so hard that I have no control. I do have a nice wrap of my glutes. I am squeezing my inner thighs gently so that I do have a tiny squeeze on that ring, but nothing too major. We're going to roll down, we're going to roll up, we're going to come back up to sitting tall, we're going to do spine stretch. We're going to roll down, we're going to roll up, we're going to come back up to sitting tall, we're going to do saw. Roll down, roll up, we're going to do spine twist with our fingertips on our shoulders, and then we're going to roll down and we're going to do some stretches. So, reaching your arms out in front of you, flip your palms up to the ceiling, like you're doing surfing. Inhale. Exhale to articulate all the way down. Inhale to curl up. Keeping your C-shaped curve. Arm over your feet. Come up to sitting tall. Bring your palms to face each other. Drop your shoulders down your back. We're going to be doing 6 of a 2-count spine stretch. We're going to crease at the sternum on the inhale. Fold over our legs, our biceps are by our ears. Exhale, pull back, and come up to sitting tall. Inhale, fold over, exhale, come up. Now this time, place your fingertips on your ribs. You're gonna pull back from here. So crease at the sternum and pull back as you reach forward to really increase the inner resistance. And exhale, back up and inhale. Don't lose that gentle squeeze on your inner thigh and the gentle wrap on your glutes. And sit up tall, tuck your tail, and roll back. And inhale to sit up, squeeze in, it'll help you. The squeeze will help you to extend your legs long. So, and come up to sitting tall. Bring your arms out to a wider V. Press down through your pinky blade edge so you're really engaged underneath your arm, really wrapping your ribs. Inhale towards left, and exhale to dive down and saw off your banjo. Saw, saw. Articulate up. Inhale through the center, to the right, and exhale, saw, saw. Inhale. And as you exhale, flip your back palm up to the ceiling and saw, saw. This helps to square off your shoulders. Flip your palm back down as you come up. To the right, saw, saw. Try to bring your bicep to your ear and try to really focus on the articulation as you dive. So stack your spine back up. Dive it down, saw, saw. Stack it up through center. Bring your palms forward. Tap your shoulders, flip your palms up. And exhale all the way down. Now we're going to inhale up. Exhale to fold over our legs and articulate up. Take your fingertips, place them on your shoulders, and we're going to, as if we have a pole running through the tip top of our head, out of our tail, we're going to twist along the pole, pulse, pulse, back to center, pulse, pulse. Really wring out your lungs here. Try and get rid of all the air. Back through center. Grab your ring, reach forward, just hold it gently between your hands, tuck your tail, and roll back. Beginning with our left leg first, let's bring our legs together. We're gonna do straight leg ballet stretches. So, I'm gonna place my foot in the ring. I'm gonna point my foot, it's my favorite ballet stretch. I'm going to flip my palms towards me, and I'm going to pull the ring towards my nose. I am not going to shorten in my waist or hike my hip here. You'll know if you do it because this knee will bend, so keep it nice and straight. Good. I'm going to take my right hand, flip the top of the palm towards me, place it in the pad of the ring, bring my left arm to the side, flip my leg across the body, allow my hip to hike slightly, but leave my 12th rib on. I'm going to bring my left arm out to a T and look over at it. Both my shoulder blades are nice and flat and wide on the mat. I have increased my stretch here by leaving my foot into a demi point because it's making the ring further away from my arm. I'm going to come back through the center, take my left hand, flip the palm towards me, place it into the ring, bring my leg out an inch or two so my right hip is staying down, and then I'm going to bicep curl that ring towards my ear. Guys, again, don't tuck. Crease at the hip to go ahead and draw that up and in. Come back to center. Float that leg down. Give it a shake. Feel a nice stretching sensation. Float the left leg up, or the right leg up to the ceiling. Nice and straight. I'm going to point or flex my foot just like I did on the other leg. So for me, this is a demi-point position. Both my palms are facing me. I'm going to extend my left leg long. I'm going to take my left hand, flip the top of the palm towards my nose, place it in the pad, take my right arm, extend it out to a T. I'm going to pull my, oh my gosh, my right leg across the midline of my body, not pull it by getting up into my neck. My right hip is floating off gently, but my right 12th rib is anchored to the mat. I'm going to look over at my right hand in the T for a nice cervical stretch. Just a nice gentle cervical stretch. I'm going to bring the ring back up to center. Take my right hand, palm towards me, place it in the pad, bring my leg out an inch, leave that left hip anchored, and bicep curl, pull my foot up to my ear. We're going to stay here for a few more minutes. Then we're going to get rid of our wedge for a little bit, do some leg work. Come back through center, float your right leg down, nice straight leg. I'm going to get rid of my wedge. I'm going to sit up, place my wedge right there. Whoop, however it'll stay upright. I'm going to place my ring above my ankle bones at the very bottom of my shin bone. Okay. From there, I'm going to float my legs up gently. Come onto my side. We're going to do some side lying work here. So I'm going to make my arm a pillow. I'm laying on my left side. That's what it's called. Make sure you're not tucking your tail here. You want to be in a straight line. You've taken your neutral spine. You've flipped it on its side. So I'm wrapping my ribs, drawing my abdominals up and in. Now, I'm going to squeeze down with my outer glutes and inner thigh. And pulse 1 and 2, 3, 4. Don't let gravity take it over. Here's 8, 9, 10, and lift it up. Now, try to leave your top leg where it is. It'll move a little bit, but then you're going to squeeze your bottom leg to your top leg. 1, 2. So you're stabilizing with your top leg. Your top leg's not done working. Try to lift up out of your side gently. 9, 10. Release your bottom leg. Try not to sickle your feet too much. It's so hard not to, right? I know I do as well. Now we're going to squeeze in with both our legs. So our bottom leg's going to lift while our top leg squeezes in. So we're going to squeeze and squeeze. 3, 4, 5, 6. Wrap your ribs. Draw up and in your abs. Don't sickle your foot like I just did. And 10. Leave the squeeze and up an inch and down an inch. Try not to sink into your side to do this. You can lift up your arms, and if you feel your side sinking in, that's how you know you're lifting your legs too high. 10. Good. Come down. Come onto your back. Try to keep your ring. Sometimes it's hard, right? We're going to come down to tabletop. We're going to platform our arms down by our sides. We're going to do a modified type of can-can exercise for this. So, like we've been working the whole class, we're going to leave our 12th rib on the wall, our hips shift from side to side. We're going to rock up on to our left hip. Our right hip's going to float off gently. We're going to extend our legs by straightening from the knees, bend from the knees to bring our shins back down, come through center. We're not extending the legs away from us. We're going to float to the right. We're just straightening our legs and bending at the knee. Now, rock to the left hip. Extend, pulse in. Bend your knees through center. You thought we were done with the pulses? I'm so sorry. And pulse and bend. Wrap your ribs to the left. Extend, pulse, pulse, bend. To the right, leave that 12th rib on and pulse, pulse. Through center. Nice flat sacrum in center. Pulse to left hip. Extend. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and bend. My shoulders aren't popping off either. Since my 12th rib's staying on, my shoulders are staying on too. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Bend your legs. Roll to the opposite side to do the other side of legs. I'm going to twist around to continue to face the camera. And we're going to go from this side as well. So from there, I'm going to stack my shoulders over my hips, wrap my ribs. Again, I've taken my neutral spine and just shifted it to the side. Wrapping my glutes, using my inner thighs, I'm gonna pulse down, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5. Control with your glutes and inner thigh. 8, 9, slight lift in your side, and now pulse it right up. Stabilizing with the top leg, so you're trying not to move the top leg too much. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're gonna squeeze with both legs, so 1, 2, 3. Make sure that you're stacking hip over hip and you're not rocking back. 8, 9, 10. Keep the squeezing up an inch and down an inch. Again, if you feel yourself sinking into your side, you're going up too high. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, since I shifted around, I'm going to shift back around. We're going to come back to our backs. Our legs are in tabletop again. We're going to do a teaser series. Squeeze in on the ring to help lift up. My fingertips are coming out of my sternum. I'm going to reach for it. Come up to a tabletop teaser. Nice open collarbone. Nice wrapped ribs. I'm going to extend my legs. Pull them back into tabletop. Tuck my tail. And articulate down with control. Fingertips up to the ceiling. Inhale, curl up. And exhale to extend my legs. I'm going to circle my arms away from my legs for 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 1, they come in, and a 2, they come in, and a 3, they come in. Bend my knees in. Tuck my tail. Articulate down. One more teaser, guys. And exhale, extend. Now pulse another ring for 1, and a 2, and a 3. Bend your knees. Tuck your tail. Articulate down. Remove the ring. We're going to be doing a figure 4 stretch here. I'm going to take my ring, take my left leg, bring my left leg through my knee, or through my ring. I have the pad around the back of my thigh. It's about mid-thigh, maybe a little lower. The reason it's so low is because from there I'm going to take my right leg and bring above my ankle, so at my shin, across my thigh, right below my knee. I'm going to flip my palms so they're facing me, float my leg up, leaving my sacrum completely flat. I'm going to bicep curl the ring towards my body. I'm just supporting it, so I'm not yanking up so high that I'm coming into a tucked position. So I'm keeping my body completely flat. I just have a nice, gentle figure 4 stretch here. Release that leg, release your right leg, take the ring off your left leg, put the ring on your right leg, about mid-thigh, a little bit lower. Take your left leg above your ankle on the shin, bring it on your thigh bone right below the knee. Now, palms facing you, flip them to the underside of the ring, and draw that knee in, opening your left knee out to the side gently. Don't shrink on one side of the waist or hike your hips on one side or the other. You're still in a nice neutral spine here. It should feel like a different figure 4 stretch if you're used to doing the figure 4 stretch by hiking your hips. You might feel it a little deeper in the hip on your knee that's bent open to the side in a turn-out position. From here, guys, we're going to be doing some kneeling work. And then we have just a few more stretches to do. We'll be all done. I'm going to come down, unbend my left leg, take the ring off my right leg, come onto my side, come up to sitting. I'm going to use my wedge under my knees here for the next series. If you don't have a wedge and you need something for under your knees, you can roll up a towel, you can roll up the end of your mat, you can use a little pad. But I'm going to place my knees on the very front edge of the pad. If I come up too far, it's very uncomfortable. So, coming right to here, I'm going to squeeze my glutes to sit up tall. I have my shoulders stacked over my hips stacked over my knees.
I'm going to take the ring behind me. I'm squeezing it with my hands on it, just like I did for the single leg stretch and the elbow to knee exercises. I'm going to reach my ring down as I press back, wrapping my ribs as if I'm wearing a corset. Look to the right, center, look left, center, and release. Now press back, look left, center, right, center, release. I don't expect for you to have a giant squeeze on the ring, guys, but do squeeze under your arms so that you can keep track of the ring and keep it nice and stable. And reach back, squeezing your glutes. And look left, center, right, center, release. Let's do one more to each side. Reach back, look right, center, left, center, release. Final one. Look left, center, right, center, release. Take the ring in front of you, leaving it still in the same position with your hands. Just float it out right in front of you, perpendicular to the floor. We're gonna do a thigh stretch. You cannot go back most likely as far as you can on the reformer, so just hinge back to feel a nice stretch in your thighs and squeeze your glutes and body to come right back up again. And inhale back, exhale, and exhale to come up. So one full breath back, and exhale to stay. Inhale, and exhale back up. Imagine yourself moving through a panini press or 2 sheets of glass. Final one. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale back up. We're going to adjust, or actually I'm just going to face this side. I'm going to take my ring, and I'm going to place the pad right below my hip. I'm still pressing my shins into the mat. I'm going to float my arm up by my ear, and as I hinge to the side, wrapping my ribs, I'm going to press gently into the ring, just squeeze under my arm to help me lift up and over, reach for the wall and the ceiling meet. And release. And reach up. And over. One more on this side. Still squeezing my glutes. I'm going to take the ring in the other hand, place it on the other leg, and reach up. Press in on the ring with the meaty part of your palm rather than your fingers. And squeeze underneath your arm. And bicep up by your ear, and bend up and over. Reach for the wall and the ceiling meet. And release. One more. And come back up. We're going to do the shelf stretch and child's pose next. So we're going to place our hands down in front of us in the quadruped position. If we were kneeling, we're going to place our hands down. If you'd like to remove your wedge, you can. From there, I'm going to round up into the angry cat looking at my thighs. Do not move your hands or your knees. Keeping the C-shaped curve, drawing it in deeper and deeper. Imagine that your hands are a suction cup. Reach your glutes back. Drawing that C-shaped curve even deeper. And then release into a child's pose. The shell is a very active stretch. I'm going to take my left hand, throw it underneath my right hand, and look under my right arm. Then I'm going to come back to center. Take one breath here. And thread my right arm underneath my left arm. Look out underneath my left arm. Try to get your left shoulder down to the mat. Come back through center. Take another breath. Walk your fingertips back as you articulate up to sitting up tall. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. One last side bend exercise. I'm going to sit crisscross applesauce. I'm going to take the ring, place it on its pad on the mat, place one hand on top of the pad, wrap my ribs, stack my shoulders over my hips, inhale my arm up, and bend to the side, reaching for the wall and the ceiling meet one more time. And release, and reach up. This is just a nice, I know it's side bending again, we just did side bending. It's just a nice, gentle release. for the end of class. Pulling our shoulders away from our ear. Now switch the cross to your legs. Bring the ring to the other side. And reach. Dropping our elbow down, squeezing underneath our arm, we're wrapping our ribs. Pulling our shoulders away from our ears. Find the breath here, whatever breath works for you. Good. One more. Wrap your ribs, nice long neck. And come back up. Guys, happy holidays. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions or need any modifications, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope that you will join me again. Thank you.